John, good morning. Just gearing up here, putting on my gloves. How are you doing? Is audio good? All right, good to hear. How was your race yesterday? Was a long one, wasn't it? 3 hours? Or did I remember correctly? Ah, okay. All right. Is it really early for you? Just send it. Hey, 3 hours is a long one. Anything can happen. I really wish we had such long races in Gran Turismo as well, but hey, PD, they don't do that kind of stuff. This is going to be probably the longest race the whole year today. So Spa 20 laps and in rain, so an hour, a bit more, maybe hour and a half with the qualifying is a short one, but nevertheless all the intros and stuff, it's closer to 1.5 hours. I bet the lower lobbies would be more than 1.5 hours. Yeah, I know that the leagues, the lobby racing and the leagues, they do longer races, but I haven't had time nor the interest to go there. Well, there are plenty of racing leagues here in Finland as well. Hey there, Peter. Good morning. But yeah, I haven't gone into that route yet. Let's see when I get bored and or frustrated with the PD stuff, then maybe. Thanks, Debita. Doing good. Had a really good night's sleep. John here hasn't slept basically at all, so quite opposite. But yeah, doing good. Finished my breakfast roughly half an hour ago, and now getting ready to put in some laps here. Let's see if I can get down to 218s. I Yesterday was a bit of a difficult day for me racing. It was driving, not racing. Let's see. I don't know if Linus has put in. No, he hasn't posted his best lap with a Porsche. Where are my... Not doing good. Usually I'm roughly in top 1000 plus minus 100 or 200, but 1600. 41, 5. Yeah. Let's try without the ghost first. Then again, the settings here are different for each run, so the wind speed and the temperature as well is different for every time if I exit now and come in the next time, it's totally different. So that has an effect on lap times. So they are not really comparable with each other, the leaderboards currently. So I'm not that worried about them. Forgot to put on the phone which shows me the tire temps. Basically a second dashboard for me for different things. But no worries, John. Yippee! Hello. Good morning. Welcome in. How's your day? Long one. Okay. Oh, that's bad. Unfortunate. Ashley, good morning. Hey. How are you doing, Ashley? Oh man, Phoebe, so sorry. That's hard. Hi, Rob. Thanks for the like. Good to see you here. Thanks for the good luck. I'm going to need it. It's going to be a chaotic race, I'm pretty sure. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, but hey, should be things happen. Then I bet there was nothing you could have done any differently. But yeah, it will take quite a lot of time probably to uh, digest it all. 3:30 a.m. Oh yeah, U.S. time zone. Yeah, race C grind. I'm not doing dailies. I, I hope that Shibi, you have somebody to talk to about it. That you don't digest it just on your own. Okay, good. Good to hear, Shibi. Yeah. All right. Insomniacs. Yeah, sometimes it's like that. Yeah, I've had my share of that delicacy as well. Slept well last night though, so went to bed around 10 and woke up at was around 6 o'clock, and then had read the news from my phone, and then went back to sleep for another hour, so it was good. Racing Rise, same but different. We are around 0 degrees Celsius here in Finland. It was snowing early this morning and basically early this morning, but it's going to be melted away by this evening. It's going to be +7 or something like that, so here is nice and cool. I haven't even opened the snow trial. Maybe tomorrow. Okay. Global racing today? Or okay. Sounds good. I'll grind some laps here first, and then join the lobby. But I need to practice a bit more. I'll do probably a second session later today in the afternoon. But yeah, to be honest, I'm not in the zone. Hi there, Peter. That's more like it. My best ever lap. Still a long way to go for 218s, but getting there, getting there. Susie, good morning. Thanks for the like. Saturday chores. Oh, tell me about it. There's a pile of clean laundry to be folded there in the wet kitchen and some recycling to be done. How it's going? It's going like that. So 219.3, just got it. Yeah. Stiggy, good morning. Welcome in. So getting there. I think I can squeeze into 218s. That lap that I did just a minute ago, there was a couple of mistakes there, mainly turn 1, and then after the Camel Straight, the following S's and the downhill section before Pujon. They are my nemesis here at Spa, and getting cleaner and more or smoother there, it will make all the difference. I think just in the sector 1 and first part of sector 2, half a second probably. My time trial from yesterday evening, Susie, you mean, or Stiggy's? Mine probably. I'm just teasing you, Stiggy. Yeah, like I mentioned, I'm losing way too much time on sector 1 and the first part of sector 2 currently. Turn 1 especially. I mean, I've grinded so much of the circuit experience that where the car is totally different POP. Slow in, fast out, yeah. I brake a bit too late and then try to push it through too much. Yeah. I need to concentrate on that turn 1 more. Last time around when we had this, that was my basically good point. The last chicane, the bus stop, and then the turn one, I could make all the difference in just those two corners. I was slow everywhere else, but I was good on those couple of corners, so I could keep people behind just by accelerating well out of turn one and the last turn. It is just basically flat out from then on. But well, wet you need to lift off for rouge, but yeah. So this is 2.9 meters per second wind. Last time around I had 2.4, 2.5, and I've had 3.2 even. And they all feel quite different. Yeah, it's ridiculous how much speed you lose. That was bad. How much speed you lose just based on the conditions. Yeah, let's try again. So a later apex or turning, not a later apex, but later turning. Not like that. Too wide. Yes, I do. Let's put a ghost on then, yeah. I used basically traction control on 1 for half a year. Well, the first races I used more than 1 when I started a year ago, but basically throughout the whole last year, I've been using traction control on 1. But changed it over to 0 just recently. I'm using traction control on wet, basically, just because I'm not confident enough driving on 0 on wet. Yeah, brake too late. No worries, Tiki. Hey, have a good weekend as well. Nice of you to hop in here. Yeah, I know where's the second is. Good luck for you as well, Sticky. Catch you later. But yeah, I know that the second is there, but if you look at these times, I don't know if these were on wet. These ones were on wet, I think. This 27, 26 is, but yeah. So in 3 days, a bit more than half a second better. Yeah, I think I'll do that off stream, so I won't bore everybody out just looking at the turn one here. Yeah, yeah, it is. I mean, it's a for me, it's one of the most difficult things in the game to get a hang of those slow corners. I can I can manage the mid and high speed corners okay, but the slow corners are the most difficult ones, as they usually are. Uh, what has baffled me this time around is that the car has been feeling so much different from previous BOP that I was really comfortable with the way that the 911 turns into this turn one previously. So I could manage it, but yeah, yeah, Rob. Thanks, Susie. Thanks for the help and tips. I'll grind some turn ones here, so I'll get there. I'm pretty sure. If not today, then maybe later. But yeah, it's not the end of the world if I don't get it perfect this time around. And in the race, I mean the good enough is good enough. So see you later, Susie. Have fun with the chores. But yeah, let's do some full laps here. Looks like this will end up to be a turn one practice after all. Thanks, Rob. Hey, good night. Catch you later somewhere. Sleep well. Hey, thanks Shibi for stopping by and take care. You have to buy them, Chibi, hey. This is ridiculous how much faster the McLaren is here on the fifth gear. I got way better exit on the last corner there before the bus stop. And as soon as Susie's Ghost was on fifth gear, it just pulled away. Yes, CB, yes. It's around midsummer for the most of Finland. Well, here in southern Finland, we get this kind of a how do you put it? Not completely dark, but dim during the night. So in northern Finland, so in Lapland, it's non-stop sunshine throughout the whole day and night. But then again, it's completely dark during the winter time, so there's no sun at all during winter. Now I got it. The turn one. Yeah, it's not flat for sure. No, the Earth, I mean. Drifting through that one. I don't watch that kind of content from YouTube at all. I don't want to make myself angry or frustrated. There we go. 219.1. that was a semi-decent lap. I still made a mistake there after the camel straight. I braked too early. This was a good one. Felt good. But that was basically on my limit. And I had basically perfect conditions. Yes. 2 meters per second wind from northwest when it has been for all my previous runs, it has been anything from 2.4 up to 3.2 from southwest. So this kind of a wind gives you a massive boost on the straight after turn one, and then again helps you on braking for the bus stop because it's a headwind in bus stop, basically headwind for bus stop braking point. So I could brake a tad bit later. I didn't nail it, the bus stop braking, but it was good enough. All right. Something for Susie to watch again and give comments on. All right. That so looks okay. And what's more, what I'm pretty happy about, the 4 laps prior, they were within 0.3. So high 219s. So if I can keep that kind of a consistency, well, I'm sure I can, but that would be a goal. But that kind of consistency would be great for the race today. And if I can do sub 220 lap in quali, I'd be glad. But then again, it's total lottery in terms of weather conditions. All right. Not that one. Was supposed to save the lap. And I lost it. Of course I lost it. Oh, fuck. So let's have a look at the 1221st. So 2.5 seconds off from Serrano in a Porsche. It was 3.5 seconds yesterday. All right. McLaren's will be the meta car for this race if it's dry. I'm not sure if it's a good one on wet. Porsche should be good, or at least decent on wet. BMW is not that good on wet, so let's see. All right, I think I'm done for this for today. I'll do some off-stream practice later today before race in the afternoon my time. So hopefully get more out of the lap time and then again getting better on consistency. Maybe do some wet weather training as well. But I'll be back online 7:45 p.m. local time, which is GMT +2. So hope to see you there then. Thanks for watching and stopping by. Bye now.